And in the final minute, Frank lays up the reverse to narrow the deficit to 1:21 for Frank. And in the final moments, Lauren Hansen's layup falls with 0.1 seconds left. The first win against the #1 team program in history. Mizzou opens SEC play with an unforgettable 70-69 win.
It's very emotional. It's a roller coaster. The biggest thing too is the fact that we're a new team. We graduated 7 or 8 seniors last year, so to do it with a new team, to get this far and actually crack the Final Four it's prestigious. I love it.
So he turns into Coach Go Million, Coach Cameron. Coach Cameron, that's his middle name, Cameron.
His first name.
That's his first name, and then his middle name is Trey. So he turns into Coach Cameron, okay? Then he starts taking the pen from me in the huddles. Then he starts talking to his teammates before I can even talk to him. And before you know it, he's telling the entire, including the referees, what to do.
Our Friday Night Fever team covered well over 100 games across the Mid-Missouri gridiron this fall, and we narrowed it down to just 8 top plays for our Friday Night Fever Play of the Year poll, and we want you to get involved. Let's start with Eldon's Bryce Veach, who carried the Mustangs over Osage in his first football game in 2 years. The transfer from the state of California trucked a defender on his way to his 5th touchdown of the game. What a way for him to burst onto the scene. Candidate number 2, how about those Elias Crusaders, Drew Miller to Harrison Miller, and look at the twisting effort on the catch here, right around the pylon for the score. What a great catch, helped Elias shut out Granite City 49-0. Another long touchdown connection, this one out of Versailles. Adam Radcliffe rolls out to hit Reese Murdoch for this amazing catch, also for a touchdown, and that's a freshman who will be a big part of the Versailles Tigers' future plans. Next up, West Strand's Derek Merritt broke off quite the run in the Hornets' Week 6 win over Scotland County. Breaks several tackles, jukes some defenders, finds daylight before hitting the end zone. That's a grown man, 70-yard touchdown run for the senior quarterback for another candidate. How about a performance that went down in the Misha record books? Blair Oaks quarterback Dylan Hare had quite the season. No game better than his 9-touchdown domination against Eldon, good for the second best all-time from a Missouri football player. Then it's the conclusion of arguably the game of the year at Midmo. Hallsville's Tiger Cobb hit A.J. Austin on not 1, but 2 jump balls in the final seconds to knock off Blair Oaks. An unbelievable final sequence to end an unbelievable game between 2 of Midmo's best teams. Our penultimate contender comes from Osage quarterback Brockton McLaughlin, ripping off a couple of massive touchdown runs and a win over Versailles, including this snake-through score from 70 yards. Impressive footwork from the senior to find the end zone. And finally, we had to give some love to this double reverse flea flicker from the Boonville Pirates. Colby Caton to Dakota Truce on the first play from scrimmage against Hallsville, straight out of Mizzou's 06-07 playbook. It's the final nominee for our F&F Play of the Year. So there you have it, the 8 finalists for the Play of the Year. Later this week, just go to KOMU.com to vote for your favorite. We'll announce the winner on the final Sports Extra of 2021 on December the 26th.
11 months ago, Ennis Rakestraw began a difficult recovery from a torn ACL. Rakestraw wasn't sure if he'd ever take the field again, but as KOMU8's Nate Brenner shows us, the sure thing in his life was family support, leading to an unforgettable moment.
Ennis Rakestraw never missed a game in his Mizzou career until a torn ACL knocked him out 4 games into the 2021 season.
One moment I was a starter, thinking I'm going to go to the next level. And the next moment, sitting in the bed for 6 months, trying to see what's next.
Seeing her son was emotionally shaken, Ennis's mom, Shamika Jones, came to Columbia to help him recover.
Most of the time, that was his thought process, like, I don't think I'm going to come back. This is like the end of my football career.
Shamika had to return a second time as Ennis continued to struggle.
He hadn't been taking his medicine. He hadn't been eating.
It was tough at first, He didn't take it well in the beginning.
You cannot let this defeat you. We have come too far to kind of roll up in a ball and die now.
Eventually, Shamika had to return to Texas. Ennis's teammates filled the void.
Myself, Tyler Jones, Johnny Walker, we're all roommates with Ennis. We just helped him out throughout the long process.
When I first learned how to walk, they took my crutches and all 3 of them holding, just trying to make sure I don't fall.
The roommates, oh my God, I love them like they are my 3 lost sons.
Finally receiving receiving clearance to return, Xtra hit the ground running in fall camp.
I really just want to play football. I just want to be out there, hear the Missouri fans, and play with my brothers again, because when I was hurt, they always there for me.
And when those emotions returned before his first game back, Mom was just a FaceTime away.
He just had a very emotional moment, just broke down. It's like, I'm finally back, you know. When I got injured, I didn't know that this was possible.
But Ennis wasn't all the way back until the Abilene Christian game. With his family in the stands for the first time since the injury, Xtra snagged his first career interception.
It was like a lot going on. The first thing I thought about was my mom. And I went to the end zone and, thank God for me being here and having this opportunity to give my brothers. I'm just happy I can capitalize. She just remained confident in me, even though it was tough times. So I had to owe it to myself, where if my mom can sit here and act like everything's okay, I know everything's gonna be okay. It was painful, but I'm here now.
So good to see him back. Xtra has 7 tackles and 1 pass breakup this season to go along with that pick, and he'll look to continue his success at Jordan-Hare Stadium this weekend against Auburn. Former Mizzou soccer player Cassidy Nurnberger's passion for the game has led her to a new role on the Tigers sideline. As the Assistant Director of Operations and Player Development, Nurnberger is contributing to head coach Stephanie Golan's culture, one stare at a time. KOMU8's Nate Brenner has more.
Cassidy Nurnberger's 5-year career at Mizzou didn't have a magical start.
I didn't have my breakout freshman year where I was playing a bunch of minutes. I kind of had to, face some adversity, face some challenges.
Overcoming an injury as a freshman strengthened her drive to improve herself and her teammates.
Don't screw up because Cass will be on you. Don't do this, Cass will be on you.
Cass was one of the people that I gravitated towards the most last year, because she wanted to win. She was hungry for the standards. She was hungry for, elevating the culture within the program.
Rather than playing overseas, Nurnberger chose to begin a coaching career at home.
I love this program, so being able to just pour my heart out and to help and mentor the players now and give everything that I can to them is kind of how I see it.
She's done a really good job, especially with the freshmen. I mean, you see the productivity that they have out there, and it's really, I think that's a direct response of what she has put in for them.
But the positive coaching and athletic leadership graduate student knows it's not just about results.
Part of Cass's role in that mentorship piece is, can we steady that ship? Can we have less down moments and keep them at a good place?
It encourages the players to have intrinsic motivation. They want to do it. It's having that mentality that they get to do it. They get to be student athletes here at Mizzou every single day, not have to.
Seeing so many more players coming out and just having more joy in all of the little pieces that we're focusing on, and the willingness to compete with one another on a higher level has been a fun step forward.
Stepping forward on a new journey.
I knew if I wasn't playing, I couldn't just leave. I couldn't leave soccer, and so being able to still be around it and being able to help players now in their journey is honestly why I show up every single day.
Nate Brenner, KOMU8 Sports.
Great story. 11 of the 18 Tigers who have played in 2022 are underclassmen and account for more than half of the team's goals. And freshman keeper Bella Hollenbach is 7th in saves among SEC keepers. A bright future ahead on the pitch for the Tigers. Cassidy Nurnberger, a big part of that. Homecoming at Faurot Field has provided some of the best moments in Mizzou football history. KOMU8's Nate Brenner has a special homecoming edition of the Tiger Top 5.
This week's Tiger Top 5 takes a look at the best moments made in Mizzou's 111-year-old tradition, homecoming. Number 5 takes us back to 1941. The Oklahoma Sooners stood no chance to stop legendary coach Don Farrow's split T running scheme in front of a sellout crowd. Red Wade ran in 3 touchdowns, with Bob Stuber throwing the other in a 28-0 shutout victory, part of Farrow's second of 3 Big Six Conference championships in 4 seasons. Number 4 comes from 1969. Mizzou's homecoming matchup against 12th-ranked Kansas State brought together the Big Eight's 2 most prolific passing offenses. Quarterback Terry McMillan and running back Joe Moore led Mizzou to 664 offensive yards. John Staggers posted 3 touchdowns for the Tigers in a 41-38 thriller a crucial win in Missouri's second conference championship season under Dan Devine. 2003's game against Texas Tech is in number 3. Zach Abram ran for 139 yards and 3 touchdowns, but Brad Superman Smith stole the show with a school record 5 rushing scores, 3 in the fourth quarter to close out a 62-31 victory over the Red Raiders. His 291-yard rushing performance remains second best in school history. At number 2 is Mizzou's 2005 game against Iowa State. Freshman Chase Daniel took over for an injured Brad Smith in the fourth quarter, down 10 points. Daniel led Tiger marches in the final 2 drives of regulation, capped off by a passing touchdown to Sean Coffey to force overtime. Adam Crossett's 26-yard field goal gave Mizzou the 27-24 win and closed the first chapter of Daniel's great Tiger career. Number 1 has to be Mizzou's 2010 upset of number 1. A sellout crowd at Faurot Field watched the Tigers trade blows with Oklahoma, with Mizzou trailing by 1 heading into the fourth quarter. But Blaine Gabbert's passing touchdown to Jarrell Jackson gave the lead back to the Tigers, and a Xavier Gooden interception and a rushing touchdown from James Franklin rounded out a 16-point fourth quarter, clinching a 36-27 victory, the best in Mizzou homecoming history. After Mizzou men's basketball's 20-point blowout loss in Kentucky, the Tigers earned a big 92-86 win over Alabama last Saturday, and tonight they're looking to carry their momentum into Arkansas. The Razorbacks are 8-1 at home this season, but surprisingly only 0-3 in SEC play. Tigers found themselves down early, but the nice ball movement gets Trevin Brazil the corner 3. That was their only basket in the first 9 minutes in the midst of a 19-0 run. Arkansas with the steal to get Devontae Davis the transition dunk. Kobe Brown was doing all he could, laying in this second chance bucket off the offensive board, 4 points and 5 rebounds for Brown, but it was all Arkansas. J.D. Notae drives to the basket, gets the and one. He leads Arkansas with 14 points as the Razorbacks lead Mizzou 49-15 at half. Mizzou gymnastics meet against LSU scheduled for this Friday has been postponed due to COVID-19. After briefly searching for a non-con replacement opponent, Mizzou will not compete on Friday. The Tigers' next meet is at North Carolina on Saturday, January 22nd. Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz is filling SMU offensive coordinator and former assistant coach Casey Wood's roles in-house. Special teams coordinator Eric Link will also serve as the tight ends coach this season, while linebackers coach DJ Smith will also assume duties as recruiting coordinator. The Tigers have 1 on-field assistant coaching spot left. Big news for Chiefs fans: running backs Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Darrell Williams and wide receiver Tyreek Hill all practiced today and look good, according to head coach Andy Reid. All 3 appear to be on track to play in Sunday's home wildcard matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Some of Mid-Missouri Hoops' high school bests were recognized as McDonald's All-American nominees today. Rockbridge's KK Brody and Avery Kroenke joined Boonville's new all-time leading scorer Addie Brownfield on the girls' side. Blair Oaks' Luke Northweather earned the nod for the boys, as did Mizzou signee Aiden Shaw. The McDonald's All-American teams will be revealed on January 25th. Elias boys hosting Fatima tonight in a tight matchup. First, it's Cooper Kleffner with a nice drive inside to lay it in for the Comets. This is a back-and-forth game. Jacob Rimbecki flies in to get the board and puts in the second chance bucket. Now Fatima on the free throw line. They miss and get the rebound on the tip out, and they'll find Lever Slews for the 3. That would put the Comets up by 4, but it's Malcolm Davis for the Crusaders who comes back with a 3 of his own. Elias narrowly edges out Fatima 67-65. Columbia showdown between Hickman, who's trying to snap a 3-game losing skid, and Tolman, who's won 4 straight. First quarter, Javon Porter with the cross-court pass to Jakai Chivas for the and-one. Trailblazers up 5. Then in the second quarter, how about this? No-look pass from Langston Stroop to Keyshawn Oliver for the and-one score. The Cubes were fighting back, but Porter erases the Hickman momentum with this 3 at the buzzer. Tolan currently leads 38-28 at halftime. We'll have those full highlights at 10. And that's sports.